taking over the rest of the Gaza is the only way to ensure that now Hamas is defeated. The other option is to leave the Gaza Strip and Hamas reconstitutes itself. Those are the two main options. This is the junction that the Security Cabinet finds itself in. It has to make a decision. The status quo cannot remain as it is. We can't leave the IDF divisions in Gaza in a static location or conducting just local raids. They have to know where they're going. There has to be momentum. Now, there is a risk to the hostages, no question about it. Hamas has said as much. So obviously, this is going to require very precise intelligence, knowing where these hostages are, and assuming that these locations are known, and then making sure that any operations don't come too close to those precise locations. Now, that also leaves the questions of what happens to the negotiations. And I've been saying this for a while. Perhaps this opens the door to very localized negotiations with the hostage takers. If the remainder of the Hamas terrorist leadership is disbanded, whatever's left of it, and there's not very much left of it anyway, then we can turn around to the terrorists and say to them, we as a country, look, there's nobody here backing you up. Hamas overseas can't do anything for you. Qatar can't do anything for you. If you want safe passage to Qatar, you can have it. Other things that can be offered to them. It's a high risk for the hostages, no question about it, but it's certainly something that becomes more accessible if the IDF completes its takeover. And I'll just add one more thing about the humanitarian aid situation. If the IDF is ordered by the cabinet to take over the rest of Gaza, that actually opens the door to also destroying Hamas as a political regime. Why? Because then programs like the GHF, which are independent, which are backed by Israel, by the United States, and which Hamas cannot loot, cannot hijack systematically, the way that it takes 15 to 25% of all aid that comes in under the UN programs and the other international aid. If the GHF-style programs are expanded, that's a death blow to Hamas, because then Gazans will no longer be dependent on Hamas for humanitarian aid. And this terror financing that Olivier just described will also start to get cut off. So this would be a double blow. They would lose territory and they would lose their grip over the Gazans. All in all, from the wider national security perspective, this is a very important step to defeating Hamas.
If I may, what just say Mr. Lappin, Yaakov Lappin, I think is very important. The word has been pronounced by him, defeat. We need to defeat Hamas, totally, unconditionally. And now they are still using the situation of the hostages as a way to continue, because they need something to continue the fight, and they know that this issue of the hostages for us is not only sensitive, it's a key element in our strategy against Hamas for many reasons. I'm not going now to elaborate, but I believe that everybody knows very well what I'm talking about. But the point is also, we don't talk about occupation as a thing that would be pleasant. We talk here about, if I may, in military concept, we talk about control. Now we don't control all the Gaza Strip. And where we control it, we have actually settled these food centers for distribution for the population in order to prevent this population to be actually prevented by Hamas to take it and to take it directly. So if we control all the Gaza Strip, it also will give us, I would say, another tool to prevent Hamas to continue to loot and to take this food, because the one who is actually controlling the food distribution is, at the end of the day, is controlling the population of Gaza and all Gaza.